Stock tip. Best stock setups.
Hi, welcome back to a new episode of Stock Tip Daily Update with me, Marcel Todia. Before we get started, I would like to make a small announcement, and it is I've added a new feature to the Stock Tip premium subscription. Namely, as of today, you will get the chance to get instant notifications, to get trade alerts every time I activate a setup or I add a new position to my portfolio. So these trade alerts will tell you when I open a position or if I activate it, at which price I will activate it and where my stop comes. Of course, you can make it your own by personalizing it. But nonetheless, you are still going to get my preferences and just exactly the way I'm trading it. Okay, then let's get back to the markets. You'll have to excuse my voice. I'm suffering from a small laryngitis, but I still think I'm going to be able to do it. So how did markets perform? So pretty bad, I won't lie. A bit beneath my expectations, but the good thing is our second support here in the range of 4,440 or so has held up pretty good, and we've pretty much finished the day in the S&P 500 with a small hammer here. So I will admit the first support was already broken at the beginning of today's trading hours. So the support was 4,500, but the good thing is the second support has held pretty good, and I've actually used this some weakness in the markets today to go long again. The volume, I still like the volume. The volume is still beneath average, so I won't say that this is a distribution day. I am actually going to say that this looks like the bottom of the correction, like the low here of the correction, and I hope as of now we are going to go upwards, or at least maintain this level, not fall any further behind it. So this is the support today. Also the weekly chart, it still looks pretty good here in the weekly. We are still above the moving averages. Actually, we finished the day above all the moving averages. So, not that scary in the S&P 500, that is, but a bit scarier if you take a look at the Nasdaq and then the IVM. So the IVM I'm going to ignore for the time being for the next few days. The Nasdaq, I don't like this negative action in Nasdaq. We have a bit too much selling pressure here, and I think the weekly still looks acceptable. I would have liked a bit more strength here on the bullish side, but we have what we have, and that's how it is. On the plus side, we can take a look at Apple. So Apple is consolidating here after the breakout, and in the weekly chart it looks like a nice consolidation. So I will still regard it as a consolidation, and still as a bull market here. So it looks pretty good, and I've actually used this weakness to go long today to buy a pretty big position in Apple using this weakness. I will show you in a minute. So this is where I've decided to go in, but we'll get back to that in a couple of moments. Nonetheless, Apple has also finished the day with something of a doji. It looks like a bit of a doji, but above the 20 moving average, and this was my initial target here for the correction in Apple, or for the pullback in Apple. I do admit it is also possible that we are going to test the 50. For the time being, this looks pretty good here, and I think we are going to have 1 or 2 plus days here, or I'm hoping for 1 or 2 positive days, if not for a whole of a lot more volume. By looking at the weekly chart, I think we are going to end the week in the negative, or in the best case scenario, at plus minus null. And hopefully next week is going to be the week where we go long again in all the markets. So this is how it looks. And I think this is the engine here for the whole market, and that's why I'm pretty much hanging on to Apple and to S&P 500 as a bull market, and only as a small correction here. And I'm still very bullish on both of them because of how Apple and Amazon look. So the IVM, I think I can ignore IVM going forward for the time being. It doesn't look healthy. Also in the weekly chart, it doesn't look healthy. So it's not surprising. So if the blue chips don't show enough strength this week, then I don't expect the rest of the market to show any strength. That's why I'm going to ignore it for the time being. The DAX has also finished quite so slightly above or just at the support level, so it's holding on. So it hasn't fallen beneath our support line, not yet at least, and that's why we just have to wait and see what tomorrow brings. The euro to US dollar has also had a plus minus null day, which finished with a doji, so a small pullback here to the line is probable. Oil had another negative day, and the correction is still on the way. But we can look here at the weekly chart. So the weekly chart looks a bit clearer. So we shall get a breakout in the weekly chart as soon as we go above 34. Next week is probably going to look a little different, but for this week our entry point would be above 34. We just have to wait and see what the next week brings. Perhaps next week it's going to be a bit lower, somewhere in the range of 33. But the correction, just like I've presumed, and just like I've told you the last, actually I've already told you here, we are going to have a correction, and this is still a correction. And I've said the same thing in gold, and gold is also pretty much doing the very same thing that oil is, and silver the same. So the markets are pretty clear at the moment. I think you should use this opportunity to buy some more position. I think you should use this weakness to buy some more positions here, because the S&P is still looking very, very good, and the blue chips are also looking very good, and the fundamentals of the blue chips are also pretty good. And we shall only get the next round of earnings in 3 weeks or so. So we do have a lot of time to go a few levels higher. So my portfolio got a bit damaged today, but like I said, I've used this opportunity to open some long positions in the weakness. So I've used the weakness to open some long positions. The biggest I've opened today is, I think, Apple. I'm very proud of this new position. So this is the intraday chart where I've opened a position. I think here somewhere is the point, or here is the point. Anyway, my stop is at 170, and it couldn't look any better. So it could look a bit better had we finished here somewhere, but I'm still very happy with this setup. I think I'm going to lose $30 or $40 if it goes south without a gap. Hopefully without a gap, if it is going to go south. But if it's going to start growing again, then I'm bound to make a few $100 or $1,000 here. And so very happy with the possibility of buying Apple. So I've been waiting it for a long time. I couldn't buy it here. I wanted to buy it, but I didn't trust myself, and I didn't have any opportunity to buy it up until now. So this is the first opportunity to go long in Apple since the beginning of the rally here. And that's why I'm very, very happy with today. I also enlarge my positions here in Amazon. I've bought a new position. My stop is for the time being. I've placed my stop at 3,000 something, 31.30 I think. 31.30 I think is the stop. So it almost got close today, and I've added a new. So I've bought a new position to my already existing position. My initial stop was here, but I decided to give it more room, and my stop will remain here. I won't push it any further down, or I don't think I will push it any further down, and now I have more of it. Let's just see how the market is turning. And the biggest surprise today was BBO. BBO, after this major breakout here, managed to maintain its whole value. Actually, we've ended the day with a little plus here, and that's why I've also added here something to the portfolio. So I've doubled my position, I've doubled down on it, but for this second half of my position now, so for the part I've bought today, I've placed my stop at 11.15. So not here, but at 11.15. These are like two positions, but together they are going to give me a better opportunity to cash in. Car sadly got stopped today, and this is not something I wanted to continue, because this was a very nice breakout, only that the breakout didn't get confirmed. So here it didn't get confirmed, and today it got denied. So that's why I didn't want to add any value to it. So I'm also going to delete it from the portfolio, from my portfolio now. CV also got stopped because we still haven't got the needed strength in oil, in the oil sector. I decided not to buy it again, at least for the time being. So my stop was very good. I thought it was very good. It got stopped, so that's how it is. It ended the day with a bit of a strength, but it doesn't matter. When it's going to break out, I think I'm going to buy it again. But until then, I am going to leave it be. Microsoft sadly also got stopped. And because I've got yet Apple and Amazon, I decided to pass on Microsoft. I also don't have enough liquidity in my portfolio at the moment because the options are eating too much of it. So I had to sacrifice Microsoft, even though the Microsoft is looking pretty good here. Nvidia, same story. Got hammered today, and I got stopped with a small gap here, a pretty big gap if I think about it. Sadly, perhaps I should have raised my stop here, but I didn't. It's how it is. You can learn from it, and the next time around you can do it better. But I'm still happy with my stop being here. I'm unhappy with the gap, so I didn't buy it again. Microsoft also delete. PayPal also, my stop got touched. I got stopped, but this is something that I've bought again. So PayPal I wanted to buy again, and I'm still happy about it. So I've also doubled my position. Actually, I don't remember if I doubled it or not. I think I just rebought my former position, or I doubled it. I don't know, but my stop goes beneath today's low. Last but not least, this one also got stopped today. It's also a position I've bought again. You see here, my stop now is actually tighter than my previous stop, and this is also a position that I've bought in masses, so I've also bought a higher count of this one. So my portfolio is a bit smaller the time being, but I think it looks a bit stronger because I've pretty much have the stocks that have faced this small pullback this pullback in the markets, in the indexes, the best. So the stocks that are for the time being in my portfolio are the stocks that have managed to still maintain their strength the whole time. Now for the third part of our video, but before I get started, don't forget to like and subscribe, and to check out stock-tip.com for some good trading ideas. Now to the third part of the videos, what remains of the setups.